Okay, so I typically don't make videos like this, but as a Seattle Sounders fan, I do want to speak up because this press conference that Brian Schmetzer did last night has made me so angry. Like, I cannot even explain. Yesterday was a win. Okay, we did a great job. Andrew Thomas had a great game. I'm not going to complain about a win. I mean, got us to the semifinals. But it was a very ugly win against the worst Liga MX team with literally an interim coach. We had 80% possession, couldn't do crap with the ball, did not test the keeper once the entire game yesterday. The only player that really tested the keeper was Alex Roldan. Now, what really angered me about this press conference was Brian Schmetzer made two errors yesterday that were very, very fixable. That honestly could have changed the entire result of the game. His first error was keeping Danny Musovski on for as long as he did. I think that was terrible. I mean, the man, as soon as the second half whistle blew, became a liability. He was obviously very visibly agitated that entire second half. He was picking fights with the players. He was picking fights with the referee. I understand the referee was terrible, but he was very, and you could just tell that man was agitated that entire second half. Like, the fact that a light bulb did not go off in Brian Schmetzer's head where he was like, maybe I should think about putting Osaze in, and just kept him in the game for as long as he did. Like, literally 15 minutes left in the game, he still has Danny Musovski on, and then obviously it ended up costing us. Man got a red card because he lost control. And, I mean, if we would have lost that game because we were man down, I mean, that's partly on Brian Schmetzer for keeping Musovski in for that long as he did. What angers me even more is this man was asked about it in the press conference. Why did you keep Danny Musovski for so long? And you know what this man said? He's our top goal scorer. Listen, I don't care who our top goal scorer is. I don't care if you got Jordan Morris out there. If they're agitating people, if they are picking fights with players and the referee for the entirety of the second half, I would at the least start thinking about putting another person in for them just to keep us safe, just to be safe in that situation. And obviously, like, 75 minutes without a goal, like, you got to change something at some point. On top of that, as I said, we didn't test the goalkeeper. We looked clueless with the ball, had 80% possession, did absolutely nothing with it. And Schmetzer made it very clear that we played well. He didn't think we made mistakes. He didn't think there was anything that we needed to change from this game, even though there was a crap ton of things that we should have changed. I don't know. I am just very visibly upset with last night's result. I understand we won, and Andrew Thomas had an amazing game. But it was one of the ugliest wins I've ever seen in our club history. I mean, if we won like this against Club America or, you know, like an actually good Liga MX team, like if this was Tigres, I wouldn't be complaining. But I mean, this was literally the worst team. Like, this is a team that just lost 7-0 to Club America. And again, they have an interim coach, and their entire game plan was to agitate our players enough to the point to get someone sent off, and we played right into that trap. It's just upsetting to me how Brian Schmetzer never takes responsibility for his errors. Whenever he makes a mistake in a game, a tactical mistake, just a poor substitution, he never, ever takes responsibility for it, and he never changes it. And then, press conference happens, the interviewers try to, ask him questions about certain things, and he either dodges the question or he just completely claims that we had a great game, we didn't do anything wrong. And it's just upsetting to me because, I mean, there's so many things that we did last night that we could have done better, that if all we had to do was just make one simple substitution or just one tactical change, and it could have changed the pace of the game. Another thing, last night proved how valuable Albert Rusnak is to this club. Jesus Ferreira, terrible set pieces. Absolutely terrible. Terrible corner kicks. Terrible free kicks. Rusnak is our only set piece taker, which is sad because like the fact that we don't have a backup besides Rusnak. Rusnak's also the best, our best deliverer of the ball. We had nobody yesterday that even looked dangerous with any passing or anything. I mean, the value that Albert Rusnak right now, like, and I understand he's not a quality designated player. I mean, it would have been, smarter to either sign him on a TAM deal or sell him, bring in another guy. But if last night did not show how much Albert Rusnak actually means to this club, I don't know how else to convince you, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I'm not trying to slander or hate on Brian Schmetzer in any way, shape, or form. All I'm saying is, last two games, there were very clear tactical mistakes that we made. Now, granted, the game against Minnesota, there was one very small tactical error that Brian Schmetzer committed. And again, there's just no accountability. There's just no sense of accountability. There's no, I don't know. I just want to see Brian Schmetzer take responsibility for once and be like, we could have played better. There were some changes that I could have made that could have changed the game. There were some substitutions I could have made that could have changed the game. I could have taken Musovski out earlier. But I just don't understand why. Like, I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if he, like, genuinely believes that we actually played well. Like, I don't know what it is. But man's got to take responsibility for having bad games. And shout out to Rave Green TV, but this is another thing that I want to talk about that has also kind of disappointed me with Brian Schmetzer. I mean, the fact that this man believes, and he made it very clear in his press conference last night by saying how deep of a squad we have. The fact that this man and Craig Weibel genuinely believe that we don't need anybody else on this squad is very concerning. And I think every Sounders fan should be very concerned about this right here. This has happened time and time again with us. There's been games like this season that have been frustrating to watch as a fan because there's just nobody, like, we don't have a number 9 that's just reliable. The thing with Brian Schmetzer is he's so attached to players like Danny Musovski and Jordan Moore. Like he has so much faith in Musovski just because he's our top goal scorer. Man can't dribble. Okay, I'm going to tell you that. Man can't dribble. We saw what happened last night. He couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. He lost his temper. Man was very visibly agitated that entire second half. We need a striker. We needed a striker bad. We've needed a striker bad this entire season. That's why we went for Noah Ohio. After Noah Ohio rejected us, we just gave up. There's no ambition in this club. I miss the MLS Cup days when we had ambition and signed players like Nico Lodeiro and Nelson Valdez. Look what they did for us in the playoffs. Where is that ambition now? Where's the ambition when we signed Clint Dempsey and Obafemi Martins? Like, it's just gone. I love Brian Schmetzer. I mean, and I always will appreciate the things he's done for this club. But he's disappointed me as of recently. As I said, never takes accountability for mistakes that he makes in games. You look back at the Minnesota United game. He put De La Vega in, which I think was a great substitution. And I don't know why he did this. He puts De La Vega in and instantly swaps Rothrock and De La Vega. So then he puts De La Vega on the right side, puts Rothrock on the left side. Stupid. I don't know why he did that. We all know De La Vega plays better when he's on the left side in his natural position. What happens next? Minnesota score a goal. And what did Brian Schmetzer do as soon as we conceded the goal? He swapped them back. Why would you swap Rothrock and De La Vega just to swap them back after after we concede the goal. That already tells you that this man knew he made a mistake when he did that in the first place. As I said, he doesn't make mistakes often, but when he does, he doesn't take responsibility for them. Doesn't seem like he really changes. It just seems like he kind of still does the same thing. And the amount of trust and reliability he has and he places upon Musovski is just concerning to me. Like, I understand Musovski is our top goal scorer, but it's like he's just not. If we want to win MLS Cup, he's just not the number 9 up front that we need, and that's the problem. Raul Ruiz-Diaz was. Clint Dempsey was. Obafemi Martins was. Danny Musovski is a very solid backup, but he's just not a starter in this league.